Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another challenge layout. This is one of Moira's summer challenge for 2018. This is the Hello, My Name is Recipe Challenge. So you see there my list of stuff. Essentially, you're supposed to take either your first, middle, or last name and make an acronym out of it with Kraft supplies, and then that list is going to be your recipe for the layout. So you have to include everything on that list on the layout. So I decided to go with my last name, which is Webster. So for the W, I did both wood veneer and washi tape. For the two E's, I did an embossing folder and my EK Success border punch. For the B, I used blue pattern paper. For C, I used a stencil with the T, which was the texture paste, and then my R was just some rose gold foil. So I got all that stuff together, and when I saw my list, I realized it was very texture-y. So right away, I decided that this was going to be a highly textured layout. It's not very complicated design-wise, but I really like all the textures together. I went and I pulled out some of Shimelle's copper foiled vellum to use. I just think the vellum and the texture paste with the embossing that I did look really cool all together. And that's the first time I've got to use that embossing folder. Moira actually sent that to me in some happy mail a while ago, and up until recently I didn't have a machine that could emboss a folder that large, so now that I have my new machine I can emboss with it, so I am super excited about that. So right now I'm just taking that Dylusions heart stencil and using some artsy texture cream in copper. I think this is the first time I've used copper. I really like how it looks. It's just not very common up until this past year in the scrapbooking world, so I really like using that copper foil and the texture paste together. The copper is such a warm metallic as opposed to the yellow gold I'm used to using. And the rose gold foil actually looks very similar to the copper, so they don't really clash that much. They almost look like the same metallic since I used such a small border of the rose gold. So now I'm just painting that wood veneer with the texture paste. The texture paste, it's called texture cream. I had never used it before. I thought it was going to be a bit smoother since it's called cream, but it's like sand. It's very gritty, so it didn't spread as easily as I thought it would, but it looks very cool once it's dried because there's so much texture and that metallic just really pops in the light. It surprisingly dried really quickly too. Like, you don't have much time to get it on the page before it's dry, so I had to stop and clean my stencils right away. I'm just going to add a few more paper layers. I'm using the DCWV Indigo, Kraft, and Rose Gold paper stack, which includes rose gold obviously, but it does go really well with the copper. I love that vellum. It's from one of Shimelle's collections. I can't remember which one, but it looks really good with the texture paste. I love that embossed piece of cardstock. It just adds such a nice textury element on top of everything else. So I'm getting all those layers together. There we go. I'm just going to add a few more pieces. I'm so excited for all these summer challenges. I'm just trying to decide which one I'm going to do next. I'm either going to do the sketch challenge or the mood board challenge, so I haven't decided quite which one. I kind of have a direction I want to go for both of them. So I'm leaning more towards the sketch challenge next though. That's my EK Success scallop border punch, so that was one of the E's in my recipe that I needed to use. I'm just going to glue all of those layers down. I liked how those textured paste hearts kind of look like they're bubbling up from the bottom of the page. It kind of reminded me of bubbles in the fish tank. So I thought that was kind of cool, although that's not really an obvious, it doesn't really look that way if you're just looking at the page, but in my mind it kind of correlates that way. This was when I had to take my dog to the vet for just a yearly. He actually, in this he's not my dog yet in this photo. I was his puppy trainer when he used to be in the Guide Dog Foundation for the blind. So I was his puppy raiser. So I basically did all of his preliminary training, and I had him for a year and a half. And then once he kind of graduated my level, he went to New York for some advanced training where he would be paired with a person. Once he got to New York, though, he was there for about 8 months, and they just said he wasn't happy. He had some sort of separation anxiety being away from me, so they sent him back and said I could keep him. So we're kind of sad he didn't make it through to be able to help a person in need, but I am so happy to have him back. I'm not going to complain. Those are the flat letter stickers that come in the Simple Stories Posh collection. I thought the blue matched really well, so I was trying to use them for my title. I thought it would look okay on that love piece. I thought the love would kind of melt into the background and it would kind of all go together as a title, but it's really distracting, so I pulled those letters off and I just go with the love piece. And it was off camera. I mentioned in my last video I cannot cut a circle element for the life of me. Ooh, it's thunderstorming. Sorry if you can hear that in the background. But I just took my Tim Holtz texture tool with the serrated blades and went around that oval piece, so it kind of hid that it wasn't a smooth cut. And then I just popped that up on some fun foam. And because that the letter stickers didn't really go well with it, I needed something. It just looked too plain, so I went to my diamond press and cut out a few small shapes I could layer on top as a little embellishment. And I really don't embellish any more than what you see here. It's really just those arrows that I painted with the texture paste and those die cuts I'm putting together now. Like I said, it's a pretty basic design. I really just wanted the texture to speak. I really like how the texture all looks together. If you have a Tuesday Mornings near you, I know they all stock different stuff at different times, but all of the ones around me stocked up on this artsy texture cream in all different colors, so I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun to play with. It was a little different than I thought it would be, but I had a lot of fun with it, so I'm excited to experiment with it more. And I thought it needed one more detail. It just seems too plain, so I just bordered the page with some really thin pink washi tape. And because I have the texture paste going off of the bottom, I didn't put it there, which I feel like accentuates that the bubbles are kind of floating up from the bottom of the page, which I really like. And then I just did my journaling there at the bottom. So I'm going to put my list here again of everything I use. This was a fun one to play along with. I think I'm going to start on the sketch one soon, so stay tuned for that. But if you want to play along, please join us. We're on Mercy Tiara's 27-day scrappy challenges. Moya's posting a lot of challenges there, so it's a lot of fun already. I can't wait to do them all. Thanks for watching. Bye.